Alright, welcome back to another yap session of Hell Let Loose. This is Big Chungus just checking in, just doing some just casual yapping. Just pretty much just talking about the state of Hell Let Loose, um, ideas I do hope for the future, and quite honestly, I haven't really been playing this game. I've been playing of lot of Helldivers lately, and some, I'm not gonna lie, some Space Marines too, and some Marvel Rivals. Haven't really played this in a while, so honestly, like it's normal. But today, the reason why I'm making a video about this game, and right now I'm just running around just do in the practice range, just doing fuck all else, because honestly, to be honest, I have the attention span of a walnut. Okay, so if I was to be put in the game, like right now, like I will not be able to concentrate at all. At least like in the practice range, I can pretty much do whatever and pretty much put whatever ever out there. But anyways, the purpose of this video is discussing again the future of Hell Let Loose. If you guys already seen my last video, I discussed that topic very much, and for and I still stand by the fact that after Tobruk, definitely a lot of things need to happen. A lot of changes need to happen. I want to get this out of the way. I want to, because personally, this is a personally my favorite thing about the game. I love the armor in the game. I really do. We're already beating a dead horse here by already having all the uh, this discussion. Like personally, I think everyone could agree that armor needs some kind of rework. Like some kind of rework. Because holy shit, like armor is fun. Do not get me wrong. Armor's really fun. And I can see the potential with it. But the problem I have, and I guarantee a lot of players can say, is mostly just the armor itself. Like what I mean by that is there's at times where this is just a personal thing I have. Like I don't mind, for instance, like a medium tank fighting a heavy tank head on. I don't mind that. I don't mind. As long as armor comes into play, such as like, okay, let's say this case we're the British. In this case for the British, like you can basically cannot angle your armor whatsoever. You just can't. Like so many flat spots, just overall, like you're not gonna really do much up front, right? But if you angle it, like an extreme angle, your survivability rate can go up. So you could be able to take on that tiger or take on the panther. Yes, you're screwed because you're not going to be able to pen it. You're not going to be able to fight that head on. You're just not. But it gives you a chance to survive an encounter against a tiger and or a panther. Like that's what we want for the armor for these tanks, because obviously the heavy tank is gonna be the most like deadliest in the field. We understand that, but the fact that the armor, how it kind of really correlates to like the damage model how they handle it. So like for instance, like you have tracks, turret, the hull, engine. Those are only four models. In my personal opinion, the rework should also change how the damage model work. For instance, if you hit your tracks, right, add two track damage models, once for the left and right. Yep, fuck it, go for it. If my if my left track is completely busted, completely destroyed and fried, right, I can still be able to turn one direction, the very least, but I can't turn the other direction. This incentivizes more, gives more tools to infantry. I do understand that, but this creates more of a chance for even tank encounters. For instance, like even though like if I'm in a light tank, for instance, and I take on a fucking a panther, right? If he doesn't see me and I'm looking dead at him and I know I can't fight him head on, I could literally tell my gunner, "Hey, take his fucking tracks out, immobilize him," and then from there, I could use my speed to my advantage, get up close, get behind him, or get to his side, completely kill him, or die in the process, or whatever. The whole point of it is to at least create opportunity, and plus this incentivizes more. This is again just my personal opinion. If you guys think otherwise, please comment below, or even hell. I'm mostly in the Hell Let Loose Discord because I don't know how to fuck operate Discord. So find me there, JJ. That's my user. But anyways, but anyways, I think this will mostly incentivize tankers to stay close to infantry. I know this is already like a no-brainer. Like, oh no shit, Sherlock. Like you should always be near your infantry, and I do understand that. But of a lot of other players, and plus the influx of new players we're getting in this game on the console side of things and on as well on the PC side of things, I really do think that that should be implemented, and also it could help out get like the infantry tank teamwork dynamic to work out and help work out in the game. Because when you're playing with infantry as a tanker and the are really good, like they're telling the tank, "Hey, you have a tank down the street," or they're up ahead clearing the way, or like you're getting really fucked up and they come in to help you out. Like shit like that is really dope. And I do think something like that would help a lot. Another thing is like two other things a no-brainer, right? Like besides damage model, obviously put machine guns on top of the tanks, like certain machine guns. Like obviously, like since we're playing, I don't know why I picked the British. I said what, fuck it, why not? But for instance, like for the Americans, we'll just use them for an example, or even for this case, like the Germans, right? Like put like a MG42 or MG34 on top of the tanks. Do that. This also will incorporate both play tankers and infantry to work together. Like I don't think anybody would mind to have, for instance, like fucking little Timmy just hopping in the back of a medium tank and just using the top gun to just mow down the enemy. Like literally, there's nothing wrong with the extra gun. I think it I think it deserves to be in for American tanks. Honestly, like fucking put them everywhere. Holy shit, dude! It's American tanks. Like they are literally littered with guns everywhere. Like come on. So like definitely for the Americans, the 50 cal. It's just too iconic. I would say for the light tank, give it the Browning. For the medium, maybe the 50 cal. And the heavy, definitely 100% the 50 cal. Like it varies, but like pretty much in general, I would say give the light tanks like the level 1 machine guns and medium and heavies like the level 3 machine guns. And we're going to get to the machine guns later. But overall, though, like I do really think a armor rework is needed. Hell, one more idea I'm going to throw in there. Fucking create a brand new comm. Like, let's be honest here. I want to talk to other tank commanders. I don't want to always just hop in command chat just to talk to said uh, squad leads or the commander himself. Like there's times where I want to work together. Where there's no way of really talking to directly to your other tank commanders without going to squad chat and putting broadcasting it out there, rather than just having its own separate chat to where they could pretty much talk to each other. Or hell, even go we could go even further. Broadcast where squad leads could actually interact with one another individually. You could individual each other, or you could broadcast it. Like, we go wild with this, but personally, I do believe that at least for tankers, they deserve to have their own slot, so that way they can be able to talk to other tank commanders, and it could be way more effective, and it will help out a lot too. Um, next thing that I've seen a lot, because I did put up in the Discord earlier, like collective ideas after Trebuk. Once it goes official, that's one of them I put out. A whole tank rework and everything else I stated. Pretty much a brand rework the armor, the damage model, add some brand new put like a top machine gun on all the tanks. Fuck it, why not? Um, allow the commander hatch to be open so the tank commander could look around actually and have a good view. I think the periscope is fucking stupid. Again, I don't think it should be there. I think it should just be like, hold on, I'll show. I should demonstrate. Because if anyone knows where I'm going with this, like if anyone knows where I'm going with this, like you know what I mean, right? I'm going on a little side tangent before we go on, but hold on. I'll show you. Hold on. This video should not be as long. I'm trying to strive for making the video not as long. So for the tank commanders, the periscope is neat, is very nice. However, I don't like it. The reason for that is because honestly, it's not really like fun or realistic to deal with it. It's not really like intenseful or anything. So it just makes it pretty much like just a your only way of really looking around clearly. I don't mind it staying around. We could keep it still, but I would prefer, another way, like up close and personal, where I have a 360-degree look with like the little insert ports. Like, for instance, the Sherman, or maybe the Panther, or the Panzer IV, stuff like that. And one more thing, tank destroyers. Just put fucking tank destroyers in the game. Like, this would alleviate the whole dynamic of, oh yeah, the heavy tank's in the field. Guess what? Nothing can kill it unless you have a precision strike or another heavy tank kill it. Or if you have a really good tank squad and you have is a medium or light or even a recon, you can sneak up on it and kill it. Or catch it by surprise or whatever. Like, it is not impossible. But it's just the fact like the heavy tank can one shot everything below it. And that dynamic, I do understand this is a heavy tank. Like, no shit. Right? It has the biggest and baddest guns. But like, this is why I say the armor rework is needed. So that way at least see more different dynamics go on, you know? I would say make the tank destroyers have the hull as a light tank, so they could be one shot. But, like for instance, I would say make the Germans armor for the tank destroyers really fucking tough. Like, really fucking tough. Still the hull of a light tank, but they're really tough. Or with the Russians, they have sloped armor, but they have the hull of a light tank and can one shot anything like medium tank and below. It could two shot heavy tanks, one shot everything else and below. I don't mind that. They move pretty fast. I don't mind that. Let them have that. Let them just strictly have just maybe just AP rounds. Fuck it. Why not? I know it's not. I know they also have other shells, but fuck it. Let them just have AP shells, or let them have both. But make it have okay. This let's say a M18. It has 50 rounds of AP, and only 20 rounds of HE. I don't mind that. I personally don't mind that. Next up, thing, thing. Of course, I don't know what kind of map I want. I'm not sure what kind of map I want. I don't think we need another map. I don't think we need that. I think what we really do need is not like a rework, but more in the sense of like people want content, right? We're gamers. We're all spoiled, right? But let's be honest here. Hell Let Loose is a really, really fun and really like immersive game to play, right? But some issues that the game suffers from, not suffers from, but like kind of have, suffers from is mostly transparency between the developers and the community. It's just not there. I'm gonna be honest. I do understand that the job of being a developer is not easy. I do understand that pretty much like Team 17 basically acquired Hell Let Loose from a prior developer and literally has to work with what they have a bit what the previous team was working with and try to make it work. I do understand that's not easy, right? I do get it. But however, at the same time, it's kind of like we don't know what's going on. The only time we find out about shit is like, oh, guess what? Teaser about this map. Month later, PTE. Then we find out what were the changes. Then the map drops. Then it's silent. Just complete silence. The lack of transparency is really frustrating to a lot of people. It's getting to the point where players are losing hope for the game, and I don't blame them. I honestly don't. Like no one can blame them. No, there's no communication between the devs and the community. There's no Q&A sections. There's no feedback. No like, hey, what do you like to see in this game or whatever? Nothing. No, nothing. And that's the biggest thing that I think that drives a lot of players away is the fact that you can't even like talk to your own player base. Like why? Just talk to your own player base. Let them know what's going on. You don't need to tell them exactly everything. Like you don't have to. But you at least let your player base know like, hey, we're working on X, Y, and Z or X, blah 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 blah. Something. Or hell, it wouldn't even hurt for them to even hop in the suggestion tab on their fucking Discord and be like and just look through the suggestions. There's a lot of people that have really great ideas that would love to see this incorporated in the game. Some of it is like different battles from at different timelines. Some of them are brand new vehicles ideas or different rework ideas and so on. There's a lot of different ideas at the suggestions. I know it's a cesspool of different like fucking ideas, but the whole point of it is the fact that you literally have something to go off by, and it's historical too, and you can still maintain your identity. I do like again talk to your fucking community. Like, holy shit. Like, I understand, like, again, the job is not easy. Like, it's not. I get it. I really do. But get this. If you're if you don't talk to your community at all, if you don't let them know about like what your plans are, or like, hey guys, what do you suggest should happen, or whatever the case may be, right? If you do not have any kind of transparency, if you don't communicate with your community, if you don't talk to them, sooner or later, a lot of players are gonna lose hope for they're gonna lose hope with for the developers. They're gonna lose hope with them. Like it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Like it's already happening as of now. Now, if you've been keeping up with the pretty much like the gaming news in general, where there's a lot of other companies that are more transparent and forthcoming with information to their gamers than other companies. And I think hella and I and it sucks. I'm gonna be honest, it really sucks. So this video is mostly consists of as a wish list, I guess, or I hope what I hope to see what happen, or basically like what I've been collectively seeing, like what people would like. So, for instance, some people want to see see the finish in this. They want to see Finland. Some people want that. Want that. Like some people would actually want that. They Brit believe the Brits will implode. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Wrong. But I something like people want Finland in the game. I don't know much about Finland during that time period, so please educate me. But I would definitely be down to see Finland in the game to see what it actually was like. Another thing I've seen is oh yeah, one more thing for armor. I know I've been glazing armor for this whole video, but like for armor, one more thing for armor. Holy shit. For fuck's sakes, put fucking icons in them. Like, oh my god. Like if I'm in a heavy tank, my squad is in a heavy tank, and then another squad is in a medium tank, and another squad is in this light tank. I won't, please for the love of God, I will put icons above the tanks. Like, oh, the heavy tank is Alpha, medium tank's Bravo, Charlie's Light, or Alpha's Medium, Charlie's fucking Heavy, and Bravo's Light, or whatever. Like, this would make it so much easier to identify tankers rather than just guessing. And especially if you have, let's say, three heavy tanks, like, you're never going to clarify it. You're never going to know who's who. You're never going to know. Put fucking icons on them so that way it's easier to distinguish and it'll help infantry and squad leaders communicate with the tanks. But anyways, it's beside the side tangent. It's aside. But yes, a lot of players would love Finland. I would definitely love Finland. Getting back on track with things. And I hope they do pull out a roadmap. Some people are asking for gunplay changes, maybe some ballistic changes. That would be pretty interesting. Interesting. Keep in mind, I'm not very educated with this kind of mechanic or much. I just know that it's more realistic. Like it's more close to realism, but pretty much I think it will help out a lot. I do see this working out, and plus like rework cover like too while you're at it, because like I understand like if I'm in a full stone complex whatever, I understand in video game land this should be pretty much indestructible, right? Like oh yeah, I'm in cover and they're shooting at me. I'm good to go. I'm saving cover. But if I'm let's say in think Jesus Christ, English is hard today. Anyways, if I'm taking cover behind a bale of wheat, right? I would say like if it's a machine gun, at least like maybe like a machine gun, it could penetrate through that. Same thing with these wheat barrels. These piles of wheat, same thing. Wood, like small wood, like wooden planks, like these wooden planks, definitely definitely should shoot through these. Wooden doors, 100% you should be able to shoot through these. Like 100%, no, like a no brainer. Um, yeah, but definitely some people ask for ballistic changes. Now again, I'm not very educated on it, but I would love to see it. So I'm assuming when I'm hearing ballistic changes, I'm thinking maybe so you should see sandstorm. I might take that L. Please roast me for that. Others agree. Oh yeah, the fucking machine guns, the weapons, the machine guns need a rework as well. For instance, the bar needs a bipod. Does it make sense that it doesn't have a bipod? Just give it a bipod, and from there you could play around with like scenarios. Like, oh yeah, in this battle, the bar was never ever around. Not the bar, like the Browning was never around. But the the bar was around, but the Browning wasn't. So you could use that. And plus, I could see it being used more often and have more use for automatic riflemen, and as well as anyways for automatic riflemen and a machine gunner fire support class for the Americans. I can see it helping out a lot. Satchels. Definitely, I would think satchels need a rework. I don't think they should one-shot tanks. I think they should one-shot like light and recon tanks, 100%. Yeah, but medium and heavy tanks, I don't think so. I don't think they should one shot anything whatsoever. I don't mind them being able to clear houses. That's fine. That's fine. I'm completely okay with that. But for tanks, no, 100% no. Sorry, excuse me. But for tanks, 100% no. Medic rework. Personally, I think Medic needs a rework. I think his kit is great, but I think the problem is just like the game doesn't really punish you with death as much. Because let's keep in mind, like if you haven't played the help at least for a good amount of for a hot minute, like you know about the resources. Like for instance, manpower. Every time you die, right? For instance, let's just redeploy here. Every time you die, you lose manpower. You go only lose one. So since it's a 50v50, right? Let's say 50 of your team dies and you're the commander. Instead of having, let's say this is at 500, right? Instead of if you use 50 squad players, it goes down from 500 to 450. But since it generates race manpower every 30 minutes, it's kind of like pointless. Especially if you have nodes up, it's pointless. Like who cares? Nobody gives a fuck. So my suggestion is for the medic to be useful, death needs to be more punishing. I'm a personal believer that I think to do that, I think the rework needs to happen between garrisons and OPs. I think OPs should only give you half the ammo and only ammo. No explosives, no nothing. Nothing. I don't mind them spawning into OPs with half their ammo, but they still have frags and smoke grenades. That's okay. But I don't want them to be spawning in with like fucking satchel. Like it doesn't make sense. It's dumb. I don't think that should be the case. I think if you are spawning in an OP, you get half the ammo, for your AT guns, like for your bazookas and rocket launchers or whatever, you only get one shot. For your ones with satchels, you don't get any satchels by spawning on the OP. You have to spawn on the garrison to get full ammo, like maxed out. Like overall, like I think that's how we could make medic more useful, especially near the front line where he should be. Um, People would like to see dragging. I would love to see dragging implemented in the game. I'm a person that's here or miss with it. I can see it working. I can see it not working. So it's whatever for me. But yeah, I think medic to work, some changes. Spawnings needs to change, and death needs to be more punishing. So I personally do believe, like for instance, like instead of one manpower, we could do try this out. Let's say if every time your officer dies, right? Such as your tank commander, your spotter, your squad leader, or hell, the commander himself, it will take a big chunk of your manpower. Such as, for instance, like, okay, I lost a regular rifleman or a machine gunner or an AT. That's one. But if I lose, let's say, my officer, that's maybe five. Maybe five. This incentivizes more players be mindful on the position they're playing. That you see the marks, you see what your team doesn't see. You know what's going. You basically have the bare minimum understanding of what's going on in the field, and you need to tell your guys that. Like you can't just be reckless. You can't just run in head first. You can't just be dumb. I think that's kind of approach is great. I think this will incentivize a lot more communication between teammates and squad mates. That's just a personal thing. Um, other um, other than that, though, for Hell Let Loose, I really do hope really good changes happen. Honestly, I think priority number one, it has to be the transparency. Like it just has to be the transparency between the community and the devs. All right. I'm not saying that the devs should be telling us their everyday lives and telling us everything that they're doing and everything that's coming up and or whatever. But there needs to be some kind of a plan that we need to know that it's in place. Like whether or not like, hey, later on, we're working on this. This is coming up. Stay tuned. We'll keep you guys informed. Something. It doesn't need to be every 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where they're telling us everything or every scoop of things. I don't think that should be the case. No, it should never be the case. They should not do that. I don't mind them telling us maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. Like, hey, this is an update of what's going on, X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah. Hey, we have a Q&A session. Sign up if you tune in for if you want to participate or whatever. I don't mind. I personally do not mind. But yeah, transparency, definitely that. Armor rework, definitely needs an armor rework. Machine gunner, I would even finish with the machine gunners. Just put an overheat meter. Just let it overheat or have a visual heating. So, because let's be honest, the MG42 dominates literally everything. Fast rate of fire, basically 200 rounds a minute. Streamlined laser beam. There's like nothing you can do when you're dealing with that. Historically, I agree. Yeah, it is fucking terrifying fighting that. That's like a fucking buzzsaw. But realistically, you're not gonna shoot that beast for that long. You're not doing that. I would say incorporate that or a overheat system for all the machine guns. Put it in the tanks too. So this way it incentivizes more like trigger discipline. like burst fire, controlling your shots, and help increase the recoils for the machine guns, especially with a bipod, maybe by a few increments. So now you have to actually lead your shots rather than just zzz, he's dead. I think this mostly primarily effect is for the U.S. and German forces. For the British and the Russians, I would say let them be. I think they're fine the way they are as of now. But definitely for this, for the overheat mechanic, Americans and Germans. Jesus Christ, I just have an influx of ideas coming in today. Holy shit. Another idea. Let's see. We talked about garrisons. We talked about the armor. We talked about the transparency, about the transparency between the devs and the community. What else? We talked about some of the weapons, like the satchels and the bar bipod. We talked about the medic. I'll say some vehicle changes. Definitely, I'll for the half track. I gotta be honest for the half track. I love this bad boy. I love it as a commander. I love this thing a lot. This comes in clutch a lot of good times. But holy shit, this thing is a waste of fuel. As much as I love it, it's a waste of fuel. I think personally, you have two choices. You have two choices to do what to do to make this thing at least basically viable. You could do choice number one. Instead of having the commander having to spawn it, have it spawn default. And have it spawn, for instance, like if the map is vertical, it'll spawn at the right side, on the right side of the spawn. Right? But if it's horizontal, it should spawn at the bottom of spawn. Or, or better actually, no. Fuck that. Let them both spawn middle. Replace the supply truck. Jesus Christ, English is hard today. Put the half tracks in the middle HQ. Replace the supply trucks, or put them somewhere else, like maybe the bottom or left HQ somewhere. That way, you give players at least something to move up and push forward. Like honestly, dude, like come on. That's option number one. Do that to where you have the half track just be a default vehicle that spawns in the HQ, and players can actually take it and bring it up to the front line and can save up garrison uses. Or option two, completely get rid of the whole spawning beacon thing for the half track because it's basically useless, but make it more as a anti-personnel vehicle. Like it's armored up, players can actually shoot out the sides maybe and take cover. Like make this into like a actual anti-personnel vehicle, like designed to deal with infantry. Players can still fight the infantry poking out. They can still fight them and kill the machine gunners and whatnot, but it's heavily armored. Like you could do a lot of damage to it. Again, I'm just yapping here. I'm kind of at loss of thought. Sorry, but I do believe yes. Either A, have it as a default vehicle in the middle, or B, get rid of the spawn beacon and give it to maybe like let's say the supply truck. Give it to maybe the supply truck, or turn the transport truck into basically a mobile spawn beacon. Something. Let's see. Just finished the half track. We talked about the tanks. We talked about the weapons, medic. Okay. Other than that, though, and maybe also a little bit of destruction. I'm not saying like go full on like, oh yeah, I'm blowing up this entire fucking building. I'm saying maybe like small scale destruction, like a wagon, right? Boom, gone. I can destroy the wagon. Or haystacks. I could get rid of the haystacks. Wooden fences, destroy them. Bushes, get rid of them. Like small things, you know. I think small destruction wouldn't be bad in this game. I think this will help out a lot, and plus it'll make feeling like being in armor way better. Like a little bit better. If you went full destruction, it would be 10 times better because I could actually shoot build like buildings down. But but I'm fine with just mild destruction. Like, you know, getting rid of like bushes, some maybe like wooden wagons and barrels, stuff like that. I don't mind that. But overall, I know this is kind of me like rambling, but overall though, this is what I do believe. This is like basically like a collective idea because I've been running around asking questions about what do you would you expect for Hell Let Loose, and most players are saying these are the following things they want, and some are mostly just a armor rework, weapon rebalance, or weapon rework, a change with for the garrisons. The medic one is the only one where this is just my medic one is the medic one is personally just I think he needs something needs to change so he could be more played and viable. But other players do believe that he's in a good spot, so it's kind of up in the air. I just personally believe he need something needs to change for him to be work really good. Um, what else? We talked about some of the vehicle changes, some of the spawn changes, and everything else. Everything basically, and there's a lot more to cover, like maps and new factions, but that's for a later time. But honestly, though, I do really hope that after once Trebek drops, I do really hope that they start being more transparent and start telling us shit, or hell, at least release a roadmap, something like, hey, I know we haven't been transparent, but we've been work busting our ass doing X, Y, and Z, or blah 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 blah. This is a roadmap, or this is what we're working on as of now. Now we're having a Q&A session or something. I just want transparency mostly. I think if you get transparent, if we get more transparency, I think the game will be in a lot more better place because we could actually know, like, okay, like we know something's coming rather than just, okay, this got teased. Oh yeah, we just got, let's say for instance, like Elsonborn Ridge, it got teased. Next month, PTE gets dropped, or like weeks later, or whatever. I don't care. Gets dropped later. Fast forward later on, Elsonborn Ridge officially drops. Radio silent. Fast forward, not too long, like a week later, Turbo gets teased. PTE drops like 2 months later. Nothing. We haven't heard anything. Silent. Nothing. Even between those times, we haven't heard anything. I just want more transparency between the devs and the community. That's literally all I want. Other than that, oh, Jesus, my voice cracked. But other than that, that uh, armor rework, weapon rebalance, quality of life changes like putting giving tankers icons or letting them be able to talk to other tankers. Um, New vehicles, rework vehicles, changes for spawns. What else would we talked about? Maybe mild destruction. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got for now. I know this is just me rambling. Maybe some of you guys understand it because I mumble my words and I'm, you know, an uneducated retard, you know. But if you do enjoy this video, you do enjoy this constructive feedback or discussion or whatever you view it as, please comment. Tell me what you think. What do you tell me what do you think? Please tell me what do you think. I don't know why I did that, but tell me what do you. But on a real note, let me know, what do you think? What do you suggest? Just what do you hope for? What do you want to see after Tobruk officially drops? Like, what changes do you want to see happen? Please keep it respectful. Hell, roast me. I really don't care, because I'm just putting out this video out there just to put it out there, because this is what really has been on my mind and been bugging me, because I've been trying to get back in Hell and Loose, and it's just honestly not that fun anymore. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment, and please give it a maybe subscribe. I don't know. Signing out. Chungus out.